Hi Glenn, just to continue on factorising expressions with negative terms. So again we're back to page 21 in the book and I picked out number 13, here it is here, 3x squared minus 8x plus 5. So you can see the middle term has got a minus 8 in it, okay. But just as before, we start off with the same method. We look at the 3, let's get my pen here, sorry. What happened there? We look at the 3, pen doesn't seem to be working there for some reason. Okay, we look at the 3 in front of the x squared and the 5 at the end. So we multiply those together. So they're positive, so it's 3 multiplied by 5. It's going to give us 15. Okay. Now, when we get to 15, we look then at what's in the center of the 3 terms. And in this case here, it's minus 8. Okay. So we're looking for 2 terms, when multiplied together, give us 15, positive 15, but when added together, give us a minus 8. Okay, well let's try out a couple of things. Well, if for instance we take these two here, the 3 and the 5, well 3 plus 5 will give us 8. But that's a positive 8, so that's no good. We're looking for a negative 8, okay. But what happens if we use the minus 3 and the minus 5? So minus 3 multiplied by minus 5. We're multiplying a minus by a minus, and remember as before, minus multiplied by minus is going to give us a positive answer. So in this case, that will give us a positive 15, which is okay. And when we add them together, minus 3, minus 5, well, that's going to give us minus 8. And that's where we're looking for minus 8 over here in the center. Okay. So now we're going to use these two numbers just to distribute the minus 8x. We start off by writing 3x squared minus 3x minus 5x plus 5. Okay, so all we did there was we just distributed the minus 8x by splitting it up, and we have a minus 3x and a minus 5x. Okay, now we're going to look at the first two terms and see can we factorize those. Okay, so we got a 3 here in the x squared and a 3 in front of minus 3 in front of the x. So we can certainly divide 3 into both of those. We've also got x squared and x, so actually we can divide 3x into both. So 3x outside the bracket. So 3x into 3x squared, well that's just going to give us x. And 3x into minus 3x. Now we're dividing a positive term plus 3x into negative minus 3x. Well that's going to give us a minus 1. Positive minus will give us a minus. And then we look at the second two terms. Well, we've got a minus 5x and a plus 5. So certainly minus 5 will divide into both. So minus 5 into minus 5x. Now here we're dividing a minus into a minus. Well, that's going to give us a positive term, which in this case is going to be x. And minus 5 into a positive 5, well, that's going to give us a minus 1. And again, then, not sure, put those into the calculator and see what you get. Okay. And here now straight away you can see we've got an x minus 1 here and an x minus 1 here. Next part of the method is we put the terms outside the brackets together. So 3x minus 5 and the bracket. And then we just put in the x minus 1. And you're done. Finished. That's it. Okay, so let's move on to another one. So I'm going to pick out number... Where am I going to? Yeah, number 18. Number 18. Just draw a line here. So number 18. And number 18 is 2x squared minus x. 2x squared minus x minus 10. So here we've got two minuses, okay. But the same method applies. So we look at the 2 in front of the x squared and the minus 10 at the end. So we multiply those together first. So 2 multiplied by minus 10. Just be careful, it's a minus 10. We're multiplying a positive term by a negative term. That's going to give us a negative. So that's going to be minus 20. Okay. So now we're looking for two numbers. When multiplied together, give us minus 20. But when added together, give us a minus 1. Remember I told you that if there's an x or a number, letter, and no number in front of it, it's always a 1. Okay. So what do? We look at this here. So minus 20. Well, if we put down the 2 minus 10, well, that's going to give us minus 8. That's no good. Okay. But what happens if we look at, say, 4 and 5? Well, 4 multiplied by 5 will give us 20, okay. Now, we have to figure out what works here. So we have 4 multiplied by 5. We're looking for minus 20. So let's say we put the minus in front of the 4. So minus 4 multiplied by 5 gives minus 20. And minus 4 plus 5, well, that actually gives us a positive 1. Okay? But what happens if we switch the signs around and we say 4 multiplied by minus 5? There should be 20 there, sorry about that. So 4 multiplied by minus 5, well, that's going to give us a minus 20. And if we add them together, 4 minus 5, that gives us a minus 1. And that's what we want. Okay? So these are the two numbers we're going to use to redistribute the minus 1x. Just remember there's a 1 in there. We don't write it, but if you see an A or B or an X or Y on its own, it means there's a 1 in front of it. We don't write it. Okay, so now we're going to rewrite the terms. So 2x squared plus, yeah, it's a plus 4, x minus 5 minus 10. Okay. So now it's the same as before. We look at the first two. First, we say, what can we divide into both of those terms evenly? Well, we can put in 2x. Because 2 will divide into 2 and 2 will divide into 4. And x will divide into x squared and x will also divide into x. So we say 2x. So 2x into 2x squared just gives us x. And 2x into 4x was a positive, both are positive. That's going to be a plus 2. Okay, now we're going to look at the second two terms. So we can see we've got a minus 5x and a minus 10. But obviously minus 5 will divide into both, because 5 will divide into 10. So minus 5 into minus 5x. And here we're dividing a minus into a minus. It's going to give us a positive x. And here we're dividing a minus 5 into a minus 10. It seems strange to say, but it will give us a plus 2. Minus divided into minus, but it gives us a plus. I'll move my page a wee bit down just for a bit of space. Okay, so now we're done nearly, because all we have to do is put the two terms that's outside the brackets together. So 2x minus 5, and then just the x plus 2. And that's it, you're finished. Okay. Now, I know it's a bit tricky doing the factorizing when you've got minuses, but it's just a matter of practice. Let's see if I can fit one more in. Number 19. Number 19. Just draw a line here. So number 19. Number 19 is 7x squared minus 14x minus 21. Okay, this one's a little bit trickier. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here now is I'm going to look at the 7 and the minus 21. So 7 minus 21 is going to give us 147. 7, is that right? 717, 7 is 14. Okay, and it's going to be a minus because I'm multiplying a positive 7 by a minus 21. Now we're looking for two factors here that when added together give us minus 14. Okay, well 7 and minus 21 won't work. Or will it? Hang on a second. Yes, it will actually. So if we put in 7 minus 21, actually that does work, handy enough. Nearly made a mistake there. We'll get minus 14. So these are the two numbers that we actually need. That turned out a little bit easier than I thought. Okay, so we're going to rewrite the expression again. So 7x squared plus 7 minus 21x. Again, I made a slight mistake there. Just to be clear there, I'll just go back and do that again. Sorry about that. I lost my train. So we're just going to rewrite the expression using the numbers that we got over here. So 7x squared plus 7x minus 21x and minus 21. Okay, just a little bit model there again to explain it. We have minus 14 here, and all we've done is we've actually redistributed that around 7x minus 21x. So 7x, as we know, we have 7 minus 21 gives us minus 14. So plus 7x minus 21x gives us minus 14x. So we're looking over here. And now we're going to just look at the first two terms here. So we're going to say what will divide evenly into both. And we can see that 7x will go into both. So 7x into 7x squared just gives us x. And 7x into 7x just gives us a plus 1. Because it's a positive divided into a positive. Okay, now we look at the last one here. Last two terms. So we're going to look at what will go and divide evenly. Well, minus 21 will go into both. So we did minus 21. So minus 21 into minus 21x will just give us x. And minus 21 into minus 21. So this is a negative divided into a negative. That's going to give us a plus. And it will give us a plus 1. Again, if you're not sure then, at this stage, you can always check with the calculator. Now we're simply going to put the two terms together. 7x minus 21 and into x plus 1. Now there is one other stage we can do, and we haven't done this before, but if we get as far as here then, that's fine. But we could take the 7x minus 21 and redistribute that again to get another factor. But let's just do it over here. So we've used 7x minus 21 into x plus 1. I hope now this doesn't confuse you. I can actually divide 7 into both of these terms here. So I can go 7. So 7 into 7x will give me x. 7 into minus 21. I'm dividing a positive into a negative, so I'm going to be a negative. I'm going to get a minus 3. And then just put on the x plus 1 at the end. Okay, so that's just factorizing a little bit more. Haven't done that in class with Len. As you say, if I get as far as this line here, I'll be happy. I can always explain this maybe in the next lesson. So that's it. Thank you very much. I hope now this doesn't confuse you too much, and we'll talk soon.